A truck driver passing through a restricted quarantine zone hits a deer with his vehicle. He curses, checks the lifeless animal, and drives away, unaware that behind him, the deer slowly rises again, eyes pale, body stiff. The infection has begun. In Seoul, Seok-woo is too busy with stocks and numbers to notice anything wrong. He barely notices his own daughter, Suwon. Even on her birthday, he gives her a gift she already owns. She doesn't want presents, she wants attention. She finally tells him she wants to go to Busan to see her mother. Feeling guilty, he agrees. They board the KTX train early that morning. Sang-hwa, a tough, protective father-to-be, is traveling with his pregnant wife, Sang-kyung. A cheerful group of baseball players fill one section. Two elderly sisters sit together, offering commentary on everything. And Yeon Sang-ho, an arrogant businessman, keeps himself busy looking down on everyone else. Then, just as the doors close, a terrified girl slips on board, limping, sweating, trembling. She collapses in the restroom and turns. Moments later, the infection explodes. She bites a train attendant, and chaos sweeps across the carriages. Victims transform in seconds. Eyes turn milky white, spines twist, limbs snap into unnatural angles. Passengers scream, rush, stumble. Sang-hwa punches through the infected with brute force to shield his wife. Seok-woo drags Suwon away, confused but determined to protect her. The baseball team swings their bats, but it's not enough. The infection spreads at a terrifying speed. The survivors flee to a safer car and slam the doors shut as zombies slam against the glass. Onboard TV screens show emergency broadcasts, sudden violent riots, attacks, cities overwhelmed. It becomes clear this isn't a single incident. The whole country is collapsing. The train is instructed to stop at Daejeon, where a military quarantine zone is supposedly waiting, but when the passengers arrive, the station is silent. Abandoned gear, empty halls. Something is wrong. Sang-hwa, Sang-kyung, Suwon, Seok-woo, and others move deeper into the building. They expect soldiers. Instead, they find them, already infected. And then the ambush hits. Zombies flood the station from every direction. People run in panic. Families split apart. The selfish businessman, Yeon Sang-ho, repeatedly shuts doors on people to save himself, causing multiple deaths, including members of the baseball team. Seok-woo, Sang-hwa, and Yeon-guk, the last surviving baseball player, end up in different cars from their loved ones. Suwon and the others manage to reach the front, but zombies occupy 3 cars between them. There's only one option: fight through all 3 zombie-filled cars. The men wrap their arms, tape their hands, and prepare. Sang-hwa leads like a bulldozer, using raw strength. Seok-woo uses strategy, timing the darkness of the tunnels. When the train enters a tunnel, the zombies freeze because they can't see. The men move silently through the shadows. Yeon-guk faces the hardest moment when they reach the car filled with his infected teammates. He hesitates, heartbroken, but pushes through. They finally reach the women. Suwon bursts into tears. Seong-kyung collapses from exhaustion. But survival is temporary. The next barrier is human fear. When they try to enter the safe car, Yeon Sang-ho convinces the passengers inside that the returning survivors are infected. Panic spreads faster than the virus. The door is barricaded. Seok-woo begs for them to open it. The group is squeezed into a tiny lavatory area, barely able to breathe. The selfish crowd inside screams that they're contaminated. Eventually, someone relents and opens the door, but the damage is irreversible. They're forced to stand apart, isolated. Suwon breaks down, asking her father why people become so cruel. He has no answer. Minutes later, zombies break through due to Yeon Sang-ho's mistakes. Sang-hwa fights, but gets bitten. His final moment is devastating. He presses the door shut with his dying strength, shouting for Seong-kyung to protect their unborn child. She is dragged away screaming as he sacrifices himself. One of the elderly sisters watches her sibling die because of the selfish passengers. Overwhelmed by grief and disgust, she calmly opens the door between the infected and the trapped crowd, the same people who rejected them. The zombies storm in, ending them all. Now only a handful remain: So-woo, Su-an, and Sang-kyung. They push forward, climbing through the wrecked train. Many cars are derailed or broken. Metal hangs loose, zombies swarm behind them. They barely reach the front locomotive, but Yeon-suk is still alive, frantic, unstable, and already turning. He attacks Saku, begging to be saved while refusing to accept reality. In the struggle, he bites Saku. The infection begins to creep through Saku's veins. Saku manages to throw Yeon-suk off the locomotive, but it's already too late. He looks at Su-an, terrified, crying, and realizes he cannot stay. He remembers every moment he failed her, every missed birthday, every moment he chose work over family, and with tears streaming down his face, he climbs off the moving locomotive and lets himself fall, choosing sacrifice over becoming a monster. The train slows as it reaches Busan, one of the last safe zones. The locomotive stops inside a long, dim tunnel, and Su-an and Sang-kyung step out, exhausted, dirty, and shaken. Ahead of them, soldiers stand in formation, rifles raised, unsure if the two figures emerging from the shadows are human or infected. One order is enough to make them tighten their grip. For a moment, everything freezes. No movement, no sound. Then Su-an quietly begins to sing the birthday song she practiced for her father. Her voice is shaky, but unmistakably human. The soldiers hesitate, then slowly lower their weapons as the tension dissolves. They step forward to escort the two survivors. The nightmare is finally over. They reached safety, but at a heartbreaking cost.